Yeah, I think that's a really interesting step, isn't it? There's certainly lots more companies with camera technology. A lot of it's CCTV technology, so it's almost looking at it from a security point of view, but there is some developments in terms of using these cameras for looking at birds, bird movement, bird distribution.
Welcome everyone, this is MTech's Accelerate. My name is Nikolai Shitikhin and I have Jim Johnston with me. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing really good, Nick, and you?
Not bad at all. And it's not a sunny day today, but we are in Stoneleigh in UK at the Pig and Poultry exhibition.
Yeah, we're at the National Agricultural Centre here in the heart of England, and had a good day yesterday, really busy day, good footfall here yesterday, and it was a much better day, sunny. And we're just on day 2. It's a kind of slow start, people just starting to arrive. It officially opens in about 30 minutes, and then looking forward to meeting some more people today and talking chickens.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to spend another day here, because yesterday was so busy we couldn't even record an episode. So today we started a little bit earlier to do it and to bring you some information. So from what we saw today, from yesterday, it's quite poultry oriented. Even though it's a pig and poultry, it's quite a lot of poultry centric stands and people are in here.
Yeah, definitely is more poultry related equipment and companies here. Really good and busy day yesterday though. I think because we haven't had an exhibition here in the UK now for 4 years since the last one in 2018, I think everybody's turned out for the occasion.
Yeah, exactly. So crowded, so buzzing, but in terms of topics and themes here, I saw quite a lot of feed companies, feed additives, premixes. So I guess this is something that we can discuss a little bit later in terms of challenges that the industry is facing.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean the usual suspects are here. A lot of hardware companies, a lot of equipment sales, strong breeding company, genetic presence here. I think all the major players got big booths and lots of footfall on them.
Yeah, and of course sanitation is very important these days with all the challenges for AI, everywhere. So sanitation is big, and also I saw quite a lot of companies for camera technologies, for surveillance, for monitoring what's happening at the farm and around the farm.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting step, isn't it? There's certainly lots more companies with camera technology. A lot of it's CCTV technology, so it's almost looking at it from a security point of view, but there is some developments in terms of using these cameras for looking at birds, bird movement, bird distribution.
All right, so what do you think are the main themes of this event?
Well, I mean, we got some really strong discussion yesterday with a lot of the major integrators around raw material costs. They're obviously very, very expensive, I think at 10-year highs for soybean and wheat. And so that's a massive challenge for the industry, obviously. So feed cost pressure, energy cost, although we're into the kind of early summer here, breeding costs are low, so that's helping the industry. But if these energy prices remain as strong as they are now, as we move into the autumn and winter, then it's going to pose put the industry in a difficult place.
Yeah, I think it will be more challenging in the autumn, but I think many companies, and we discussed this yesterday with several integrators, they are really focusing their efforts on optimizing FCR, optimizing feeding. So because this will be one major thing that they cut on, because you cannot really cut on heating, for example, or ventilation, because this will have a big impact on welfare, on performance, on everything. But if you can optimize feeding and get to very good FCR at the end of your cycle, you can really cut the cost per kilo.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential in getting that bird to utilise the feed really, really well. And I was encouraged yesterday. Performance seems to be pretty good in the UK at the moment, at broiler level, and food conversions are really looking incredibly strong. So that's positive. I mean, that will help them deal with raw material prices. If they can maintain that good performance, it all helps.
Yeah, I also think one of the big things and themes around here is people, right? Because there are of course, we met a lot of people from the industry that we know for years and years, and many of them are thinking and considering to, finish their career. So it opens up a lot of possibilities for younger generation poultry and pig people and farming and specialists to get into the industry and do good, right?
Yeah, it opens up a lot of gaps and opportunities. So it was interesting yesterday to see at least one of the major integrators specifically here to try and recruit and encourage young graduates and younger people into their business. And I think that's a kind of major theme going forward, is we need to attract more people into the poultry industry, not just here in the UK, but internationally.
Yeah, I think it's important for the industry to make it more appealing to the younger people to come and join, because I think we discussed this in our previous podcasts that industry is getting more tech advanced, so this is something that is really good for young people, because young people are good with technology, with computers, with internet, and more of this stuff gets integrated with the industry.
Yeah, there's a whole range of skill base required, isn't it? It's not just people to work in the chicken sheds and lift eggs and deal with the birds. I mean, although that's an incredibly important job, but there's a full range of skills from managing supply chain to utilising the latest data systems, technology, artificial intelligence. So data science and data analytics is becoming incredibly important in the industry, and so there's a whole range of skills there that can attract different types of youngsters into the industry.
Yeah, and I think we also mentioned cameras for surveillance and for looking into the sheds. I think many companies are trying to utilize those technologies to be more present in the farm when you cannot be present at the farm, right? Because it's a big shortage of people to visit every single farm every single day, right? So you need to somehow at least see what's going on and make sure if your employee goes there, he actually does what it's supposed to be done there.
Yeah. There's definitely an early adoption of more camera technology on farms, and we spoke to a couple of businesses yesterday that were really focused on it from a security point of view. One of the major day-old chick producers here in the UK using cameras quite extensively on their farms more from a security point of view. It was more to protect the boundaries and look at who was on and walking around their farms. But there is an adoption of camera technology within the industry, which has certainly come over this last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and now these days all these cameras, they're like digital cameras, of course, so you would need to have an internet connectivity, you need to have all this infrastructure that will allow you to see the footage from the cameras. I mean, it's also quite a big investment in terms of infrastructure, and the cameras themselves, yes, they're getting cheaper, but they're not free, right? And also I was thinking, okay, so there's like two parallel trends, one with the cameras and the other one with sensors, because there are plenty of companies that are providing sensoring technologies for different areas of production, but can they work together, or which one can give you better results in terms of monitoring of like a chicken shed, for example? Camera is good, it gives you, for example, behavior of the chickens, but also you would be able to see that on feeding, right? So how the water consumption going, feeding. This also gives you quite a lot of information on how birds behaving.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a real move towards utilising that technology to help manage the birds and help optimise performance. Some people say it's a bit too early for cameras, although there's some interesting developments on that area, but there's certainly a lot more in terms of that sensoring technology to create the platform, the base. You can then overlay camera technology at a later date when it becomes more cost effective, and when we work through the artificial intelligence tools that are going to run behind the cameras and all that data.
Yeah, I also believe that there will be a merge of the technologies, and I think this is also another trend that we see, that many of the equipment and breeding technology, all kinds of companies are trying to incorporate some kind of apps or monitoring or digital solutions for their businesses. It doesn't matter what they do, whether they're providing chicks, eggs, equipment, or something else. It's always something that they need to give back to the consumers.
Absolutely. So there's a lot happening in the technology area here. It's quite interesting. Looking forward today to seeing a bit more of that and to talking to some more people about it and how they're applying technology in the poultry sector. So it's good.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have as good a day today as we had yesterday. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and please follow us on social media. We'll be traveling a little bit more. So next stop will be Pigs in Australia, and after that we will be at Viv in Europe. So will be more episodes coming your way. So make sure you subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And see you in the next episode.
See you next time.
Cheers.